Hi, this is going to be my first video over the foundations of a healthy church. And I'm going to be doing Pastor Wendell DePrang. And he talked about foundations of culture. And he says culture can be social pressure, which is so true. Because if you think about it, like, obviously culture is like made up of things that, you know, our beliefs, everything like that, like in a system, but it can also be social pressure. There can be major social pressure to that, so period. It says you engage in that culture if you are around that culture, which is true. Culture of extravagant generosity, and he talked about having like here at Gateway, like we have such a generous culture. Like, we steward that really well. We're very giving and everything like that. And I just love that about Gateway, and how, like, we steward everything so well, and how we're very generous with people and stuff like that. But he also talks about having a culture of freedom is an understanding that we all are all messed up, which is true. And that's how we get more free, is when we identify problems, is when we identify different things like that, is when we see true freedom, which is awesome. And he talks about having like how the staff and how everything works at this church, like people are taken care of, how like when we're open, like they're always seeking help, you know, we're always seeking help, and they're always wanting to help us in that. So he says, as long as you are open, we're wanting to get you help. So I love that about, like, they just don't outcast people or just shoo them away or exile them, whatever, but they really, like, care about people, and they care about, you know, the staff, they care about workers, they care about volunteers, they care about how we're doing truly inside, which is really rare, I think, especially in churches. Like, it's really, really rare. So, says the way we get ourselves off track is our character. We need to make sure our character and integrity is aligned with who Jesus is, which is so true, because whenever you see that, like, level of integrity or character, like, whenever you see that get out of line, and that's when everything starts to crumble, and everyone, you know, starts to be unhappy, and there's no teamwork, there's no connection, there's no unity, you know. Without all of that, it becomes ununified. So, and he also talks about how gospel kills an environment of honesty and freedom, which is so true, because forming gossip and everything like that, especially with people you work with and in a church, like, it can easily become a dividing factor, and then it can also scare people away. So if you know, are under someone that is constantly talking about other people, other workers to you, or you hear things, you know, with your other workers, like, it becomes distressing and hard to work with. And so I love how he was so honest about, you know, our culture, and displayed it and talked about it in a really cool way. So yeah.